already an announcement to replace him fully with a substantive, Kashim-Shettima.
Hey, welcome everyone. The long-awaited vice presidential candidate of the APC has been named by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the presidential candidate of the APC in the forthcoming presidential elections in 2023. And it has been generating a lot of buzz. People have been expressing their disappointment on the decision of Tinubu to appoint someone of the same faith as his vice. Some chieftains of APC have resigned from the party to show their displeasure. Yes, people have the right to express their displeasure at the decision, but the politicians don't actually care about what you think, especially when it comes to winning elections. Politics is all about interest, who you support or what you want to gain. Most people do it on personal grounds, and some do it for the betterment of the general public.
Nigeria is multi-religious, is diverse. Why can't we get different people of different both religions, ethnicity on the table so that we can see the matter, whatever we're discussing, from different point of view?
If Tinubu is convinced that choosing Shettima will help him win the presidential elections, then people shouldn't be questioning his decision. But if some people feel strongly about it, that Nigeria's diversity wasn't represented in his party, the only option that they have is to express their feelings on election day. The only language politicians understand is election results. While politicians are elected to office through elections, it also serves as a referendum on their manifesto. If many people do not agree with the manifesto or decisions of a politician, then it means the politician is less likely to be elected. Before we continue, take this moment to subscribe to our channel and enable notification. We also have a channel membership in case you want to join in order to support the work that we do. Thank you for your support.
The current method requires that we pay cash. Even if I want a house, one-room house, I must be ready with cash. That is a bait for corruption. So we can't find EFCC Magu in one area and be practicing a policy that is one-arm bandit.
Tinubu's election calculations have made him to choose Shettima, a former governor of Borno State, who also comes from the same zone as the PDP's candidate Atiku Abubakar. Tinubu will be hoping to suppress Atiku's votes in the Northeast region as Buhari did in 2019. Tinubu also said that 1993 is upon us again, which means he's copying the strategies deployed by the late MKO Abiola during the 1993 presidential elections. Nigeria of 1993 is quite different from Nigeria of 2023. In 1993, Nigerians were united in chasing the military away from politics. Nigerians united behind Abiola, whom they believed in his capability to turn things around. Even before contesting the election, Abiola was a very popular person, and Tinubu doesn't seem to have the same popularity as Abiola. Abiola was very popular around the country. He was a very household name. Almost every young person knew him, especially because of his football club, Abiola Babes. Also, economically, Nigeria was still doing very good by 1993, although the devaluation of the naira had already started. But at the level it was, it can be compared with today. When citizens don't find it difficult to put food on their table, they don't tend to participate much in politics. They don't seem to pay much attention to politics. In fact, they don't even care who the president is or where he comes from. But when there is too much strife and the cost of living has risen to unbearable levels where majority can't survive on their salaries, many will try to solve the problem through elections, which is evident in many INEC voter registration centers across the country. Many people have been turning out to register in huge numbers around the country. Many voter registration centers can't handle the massive turnout of people. Many have claimed that the huge turnout is because of P2B. That the huge turnout started immediately he joined the Labour Party. Well, we will never know until after the elections. It is the result of the presidential elections that will determine who new voters actually voted for. Right now, there's not enough evidence to say which candidate is motivating many people to go and register and collect their PVCs to be able to vote in the forthcoming presidential elections. There's also an undeniable fact that many people have shown interest in voting for the first time, not just people who just turned 18. So can it be because there are 4 major candidates? Because in previous elections, we had only 2 major candidates. This election will be an interesting one. So 1993 is quite different from 2023. The political calculations that worked in 1993 might not work in 2023 because of many factors. The huge turnout of voters in INEC registration centers might see an upsurge of voters in places where people don't normally vote, which means that no particular region should be underestimated by politicians in the forthcoming presidential elections. No one is invested in the candidacy of Tinubu more than himself. It is a lifetime dream for him. If people feel that they don't like his choice of Shettima, like already said, they can express themselves freely on election day. Obviously, Muslim ticket didn't matter in 1993. Will it matter in 2023? Well, the result of the presidential election will determine if it matters or not. Ordinarily, it shouldn't matter, but politicians shouldn't pretend that many people are against it. In fact, the opposition it has received, even within the APC, if MKO Abiola received such opposition, he would have changed his mind. Anyway, even Buhari, who is further to the right than Tinubu, didn't contemplate a vice presidential candidate when he ran for president in 2015. Tinubu, who is more of a center-right, has zeroed in on a vice presidential candidate of the same faith. Out of the 4 major candidates, PDP's candidate Atiku Abubakar is not running with someone of the same faith. NMPP's Kwankwaso even picked a pastor from Edo State as his running mate. And of course, P2B is running with Deti Ahmed from Kaduna State. So all the major candidates recognize the diversity in Nigeria except Tinubu. Tinubu is the only one running on a Muslim ticket. Will that cost him the election? Although this election seems like it's Tinubu's to lose, but certain unforced errors being made by him will reduce the chances of undecided voters voting for him. He will need to convince many people who don't buy the reasons for choosing Shettima. Tinubu's team have argued that competency should be topmost priority more than religion in choosing candidates. But many people aren't buying that because, as they say, there are millions of Christians in the north. Does it mean that a competent person can be found among them? So as to promote Nigeria's diversity, politicians should be attracting people, not alienating them. Tinubu has a lot of people who will vote for him no matter what. There's also people who will no longer vote for him because of Shettima. There are many undecided voters and people who will be voting for the first time. They all need to be convinced by the 4 major candidates to vote for them. Whoever is able to convince new voters will win the election. Also, some have argued that majority in the north won't vote for a non-Muslim if Tinubu were to choose one as the vice presidential candidate. This argument, instead of winning more voters, will only chase them away because the majority Christians in the south have voted and continue to vote for Muslim candidates. Why can't it be replicated in the north? Christians voted massively for Shagari, Yaradua, Atiku Abubakar, and many others in past elections. So politicians should educate voters around the country so as to deepen tolerance among the many diverse ethnic nationalities in Nigeria.
You cannot galvanize industry and develop the ability to do and change the 21st century to 22 in your lifetime unless you pay attention to electricity.
Okay, let's try to analyze why Tinubu chose Shettima. Politicians are like salesmen, and salesmen go to places where they feel they will get more buyers. So Tinubu picking Shettima means that more people in the Northeast region will vote for him because of Shettima's influence. Also, this will bring the battle closer to his opponent Atiku Abubakar. Tinubu's calculation is hinged on the fact that he has the Southwest on lockdown. He will definitely win the Southwest. In the Northwest, he will have a slight edge because of many APC governors in the region, and it is also Buhari's region. So while it will be a battleground because of Kwankwaso and Atiku Abubakar, Tinubu might just come out ahead of others. Buhari has consistently won the Northwest in previous elections he contested, but this time around he is not on the ballot. Will people vote for the candidate of his party? We will wait after the elections to know who the Northwest voted for. Now to the other regions in the South. The Southeast have consistently voted for PDP in the presidential elections since the Fourth Republic. In fact, they always give them block votes. But this time around, it will change because of two factors. One is the fact that many in the Southeast believe that the presidency should come to their region, that they have supported other regions. They supported Obasanjo, Yaradua, Goodluck Jonathan, and Atiku Abubakar, that it is time that others repaid back their support. But politicians have been given all sorts of reasons why the presidency should not be zoned to the South, not to talk of the Southeast. This was the disposition of the PDP before their presidential primaries, which of course Atiku won. The second factor is Peter Obi, who is from the Southeast. PDP will definitely lose the Southeast this time around. Atiku Abubakar might have sensed that. That's why he chose a vice presidential candidate that is not from the Southeast. APC doesn't stand a chance in the Southeast. The Southeast have never voted for them. They will not vote for them in 2023. In the Niger Delta region, they've consistently voted for the PDP. There's no indication that it will change in 2023, but there is a wide resentment that power should move to the south. If majority of voters believe in that, then the PDP might see other parties getting a huge chunk of the votes in the region. The parties who have candidates of southern origin, that's Peter Obi and Bola Tinubu, will take advantage. Although people don't vote for APC in this region, neither have they voted the Labour Party, but events like the outing of Wike in the recent PDP presidential primaries, which many consider a betrayal of not just Wike, but the entire South, will definitely play a role on how the people of Rivers State and some other states in the region will vote. This is why APC are negotiating with Wike, sensing that there is a possibility of getting him to support Bola Tinubu. There are no permanent friends and enemies in politics. It's a game of numbers and interest. Most of these politicians all wine and dine together, irrespective of their party affiliations. So don't take your support for them too seriously. Don't fight people because they don't agree with you or support your candidate. Don't engage in bullying tactics. If you're a supporter of any candidate, see yourself as a salesman who needs to sell his products in a gentle and humble manner. Remember that you need to convince people with gentle and sweet words, not insults. If you need insults to convince people about your candidate, then your candidate has nothing to offer. Like they say, a good product sells like hotcakes without marketing. When you are marketing your candidate, concentrate on what your candidate will do to solve the problems facing the country. Even when insulted, it's better not to engage or fight back. This will even make the person that is insulting you to stop because you are not responding. Now, let's see the North Central. Going by the 2019 presidential election results, this region was a battleground between the APC and PDP. The PDP won Plateau, Benue, and FCT, while APC won the rest. With the Buhari factor removed from the elections because he's not on the ballot, will people vote more for PDP because of that? The presidential election results will determine which candidate and party that convinced more voters here. Of course, we will have an idea of how people will vote when the campaign starts. So by choosing Shettima, Tinubu will hope to consolidate on all regions and hopefully tip the balance and win the election. But all these political calculations are on the premise that people will vote in a particular manner, especially how they voted in 2019 presidential elections. What if they vote differently? Many things have changed since the last election, so it might just sway voters to vote for another party instead of APC. For instance, a farmer who can't get back to his farm because of bandits might just snap and say, "What's the need of voting my brother when they can't fight security and people can't go to the farm?" There's an upsurge of banditry and violence in the Northwest, more than any region in Nigeria. The fact that Buhari is from the region, one would expect, even for selfish reasons, that more resources will be deployed in the president's region to fight security challenges. But that hasn't been the case. So it shows the fact that your brother is the president or in an executive position doesn't guarantee that you and your environment will be better off. All issues affect all Nigerians irrespective of origin. Nigerians' experience inflation is not isolated to any region or tribe alone. Insecurity also affects everyone irrespective of where you come from. So this is why people should research the major candidates, ask them questions that border on your immediate needs in your community so that you can make an informed decision before voting for them. Do not vote for someone because he's your brother, tribesman, or the immediate financial gain you can get from him. Vote competence, be honest to yourself, vote someone you believe in your heart of hearts that will be able to solve most of Nigeria's immediate problems. Vote right. Also consider their antecedents. What someone has done in the past will determine what he will do in the future. We'll be contributing our own quota by researching the major candidates to save you the time. All information we will provide will be verified. In fact, we'll post sources of the information so that you can verify them. We in the press should present the facts without bias, although everyone has a bias. The ultimate versus video comparing the four major candidates is already in the works. Yes, it will take a lot of research, but we hope to publish it in the near future. Campaigns haven't started anyway. So in order to watch that video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and enable notification. We also have a channel membership you can join in order to support the work that we do. Till next time, bye-bye.
Recruit 50 million youths into the army and take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, àgbàdo, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption.